What's up, my fellow audience? Welcome back to another edition of Ronan's Tomatoes. Today's review is for a special movie, a movie that was shelved by a major corporation in Hollywood, one that filmmakers, casual moviegoers, critics, and animation fans flocked together to try and save. And in the end, we came out victorious as a small indie studio picked up the rights to the movie and it has come to see the light of day. I am, of course, talking about Coyote versus ACME. When the trailers came out, I was interested, but I wasn't expecting some grand masterpiece. I was expecting a fun movie with old-school cartoon slapstick mixed with the real world. So it's time to ask the question on everyone's minds. Was it actually worth saving? Yes, it was worth the revival. This is an insanely good movie. It does come with its flaws, like most movies do, but that's okay because once again, this was worth it. When you think about it, the story sounds funny. Coyote taking the ACME Corporation to court after every product he used to catch the Roadrunner failed, which leads him to team up with a lawyer in order to win the case. As if this premise isn't anything to take seriously. The movie says, let's not only make this a court case drama, but also a somewhat murder mystery? There were a couple of times in this movie where I got Who Framed Roger Rabbit vibes, and I was intrigued with not only the case of ACME, but also the case of what caused ACME's products to malfunction for the tunes. It isn't just used as some goofy gag like the cartoons led you to believe. There's something sinister beneath it all. This is, weirdly enough, one of those movies where the main characters and the background characters are both interesting to watch. You don't get that in movies nowadays, and it's refreshing to see. I was intrigued with the conflict Will Forte lawyer had with Coyote at first. He doesn't want to do this case because it feels like a waste of his time, whereas Coyote desperately wants to sue ACME to catch the Roadrunner. They both have different goals, and in the end, they just gotta work together to figure out the true goal. So I can describe this story as a live-action/animation hybrid that is a court case drama, a detective flick, and a buddy comedy. The use of cartoons interacting in the real world was brilliantly executed in here too. Between this, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and of course, the original Space Jam, it's hard to deny the fact that this style has come a long way. The style of cell shading, or putting 2D characters in our 3D world, was a nice detail that allowed the audience to feel like they have entered our world. The animators not only did a fantastic job on the characters, but also on the objects that everyone, including the humans, can interact with. I guess a few criticisms I have with the movie is the pacing, and this time around, I noticed the film going the speed of a bullet train, and I don't want to dismiss the cartoon gags because that is what makes Looney Tunes Looney Tunes, but there are some scenes in this movie where the cartoon gags are not needed. They can be funny, yes, but they can also be repetitive and distract the viewer from what's going on. And I think everyone knows how we feel about pop music being in movies. It can work in some scenarios, but here, no, I think too much is too much. They would sometimes play classical motifs with a remix beat or some random rap song. Many times I had to ask myself, why was this song even thrown in the movie in the first place? Back onto the positives. The movie is really funny. The comedic gags that not only come from the cartoons, but even from the main human characters, and especially the villains, got me laughing out loud. Was John Cena the best choice for the role of ACME CEO? No, but he was serviceable here. However, I do feel like it would have been even more funny if Patrick Warburton was in that role, but I guess Cena works decently. I also love how the movie portrays the message about how big corporations can get out of control when they're put into the wrong hands. Sounds like another company. But real talk, the way they send that message is powerful, and the speeches they give at the end are the cherry on top. I can understand why a lot of people who got to see this early cried, and although I didn't, I could understand why it was emotional. No spoilers here, but the ending was very touching. If you're a Looney Tunes fan, this one is a must-see for you. And if you're an animation fan who likes Looney Tunes, or cartoons in general, you should still see this one. Just like Coyote, we fought tooth and nail to make this movie happen, and I think we all deserve a pat on the back, proving to Warner Brothers that they were wrong. A film like this deserves 8 Ronan's Tomatoes. I've never seen the previous Looney Tunes movie distributed by Ketchup, but after watching this, I might want to check it out. Thank you for watching this edition of Ronan's Tomatoes. I'm Ronan Daglish, and that's a wrap, folks.